our consciousness, the unity and will of a people not who does not want to be colonized. We will continue with our own path, our own model. And that has been, and I thank you for your shared solidarity of many voices throughout Latin America and the Caribbean concerning the shameful way in which Venezuelan migrants have been treated and taken to a concentration camp in El Salvador. It's a shameful episode. It's a world disgusting event. I was talking the other day with the United Nations General Secretary Antonio Guterres. Yesterday, I also spoke with the High Human Rights Commissioner. I asked them both, as high United Nations authorities as they are, so that the government of El Salvador were to be judicially responsible and may provide a list of the Venezuelan migrants kidnapped in El Salvador. Today, it's been 15 days since the forced disappearance. They never committed a crime. They have not been processed for any crime in the United States. Most of them, most of the ones that we know that are kidnapped, although no authority neither from the United States or El Salvador has given an official report on them, detailing who has been kidnapped, who has been put in jail in El Salvador. We know the stories of young migrants who were, for instance, barbers, musicians, artists, journalists, soccer players, workers in general. Many of them had made an appointment. I have become an expert on these issues, Bruno, as you were saying today. They use it as a political weapon, migration. They put on sanctions, they create hard economic situations in our countries, and then they stimulate migration from those countries, like from Cuba and Venezuela and many of our countries. They promoted that migration. They created the human traffickers at the Mexican border, the coyotes. And the opposition in Venezuela is involved in this, and there is proof of that in the hands of FBI and CIA. They have ample proof of that. They foster this migration from our countries into the United States, and as and in order for them to enter the United States, they have to declare that they have reasonable fear, a statement where they say that Venezuela is a dictatorship and they are afraid to go back to that country. Some migrants have told me, which we have saved from that kidnapping policy of the United States. Tomorrow we have another plane arriving tomorrow with rescued migrants through the Coming Back to the Homeland plan. I have been told by mothers of migrants who have been kidnapped into El Salvador and others who are on at large because they're being persecuted as delinquents. Many of them came from neighborhoods in Caracas. They paid those coyotes 5,000, anywhere from 5,000 to $10,000. I know a case from a neighborhood close to this place who paid $5,000 and he was taken to Atlanta. In 5 weeks, he went from his neighborhood to Atlanta. Along the way, the Darien and up to the border, he was met at the border. He signed that statement of reasonable fear and, okay, you're welcome into the United States. Another woman would tell me about her son, and in 5 weeks, again, he went to Pennsylvania or North Carolina. Do you know what you're talking about? I show her a map. That is the deep United States, which is different. It would be different to say, okay, they arrived in Texas or Houston, Dallas. They had a plan to locate these people. The U.S. government would rather wage this fake campaign against Venezuela, that this was a programmed invasion of delinquents into the United States. That's a lie that no one in the United States believed, not even the people who are saying that, because the migrants, for economic reasons that went into the United States, were stimulated by themselves, by the Americans and by coyotes, and were placed on main cities in the United States. And most of, pretty much all of them, are good working people, working for themselves, for their families. Now they want to justify with a big lie all the economic aggressions against Venezuela. But we are denouncing this fake campaign to pretend to justify this violating human rights treatment of these migrants, talking about human trafficking when they are the ones responsible for all this human trafficking. Those migrants were victims in Venezuela of the economic sanctions, and now they are victims of this persecution.